What's up YouTube, Deadrock here, bringing you another deck profile today. Now, before anything, I want to apologize. My mic is a little bit different, so I apologize if the quality's a bit off. Until my new cord comes back from my Yeti, it's gonna be stuck like this. So that's kind of how we are. But anyway, I want to go over my 5th place SnakeEyes deck. Unfortunately, I just missed top cut. If I wouldn't have tied, I definitely would have made it. If I definitely, a lot of those little things, those what ifs, but overall it performed pretty well out of 5 rounds. I enjoyed it, and the deck just did what it's supposed to do. We'll kind of get into it here. So before we go into this, we are going to go over the hand trap lineup. The hand trap lineup is 15 count, so we have 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Effect Veiler, we have 3 Nibiru, and 3 Imperm. And then to make it 15, we went with Magnemite, and 2 Druisworm. I thought these would be both really good. Also, if you have a hand that particularly you want Flamberge in, you can search it with that. It doesn't come up too often, but it can. Now, I just really like these. I felt like with the amount of voiceless voice and stuff like that going around, these are just really good cards. Even into the Fire King matchup, you just banish their IP Masquerena, and then that gets rid of a whole disruption. And if you have a Druisworm, then it's just icing on the cake. So I just felt like this hand trap lineup was good. We weren't playing cross out in the main, so I just didn't really feel like I wanted to. Another thing with the save the Yugiohs, they also back up as extenders, and that's kind of what was my reasoning to not put in cross out and put in these instead, was to, they help me extend as well as board break and all that kind of stuff. So I just felt like, not knowing if I'm going to win the die roll and go first, cross out would just be bad going second. It's not as good in my opinion. So yeah, that's that lineup. We'll go into the SnakeEyes stuff, which is of course the best normal summon in the deck. 3 SnakeEyes Ash, we play 1 Oak, 2 Poplar, and 1 Flamberge. This is probably where a lot of people might say you can't do the same combos, or you need to have 2 Flamberge. I don't think you need to in this deck. For pure SnakeEyes, you definitely do, but for this deck, you don't really need to. And then we are actually playing the new SnakeEyes Diablo. I really like this card as an extender. It makes playing the field spell really worth it, and I really like the field spell in this deck. So I really like this card with that, because it replaces itself, so you can still play around Nibiru. It might not be as good as Flamberge, for example, but the fact that it can replace itself. Also, if you already used your Flamberge earlier in the combo, the really cool thing is you can use this as an extender and bring back your Flamberge. I just really like this card. I thought it was really worth having. It played out really great every single time I had it. Also, it's its other effect to get rid of stuff. You can get rid of untargetables and stuff like that with its effect, so that's really good. And then we got the 3 Witch. So that's that engine. We have the Fire King engine. We just play a small one. Those are all the Fire King cards that we play. I just don't feel like a need for anything else. Even then, I think we're going to be moving away from the Fire King version, so we might try some other things. I do think this version is still really solid. There's nothing really bad about it. And it probably gets better without all the Omni negates it has to deal with. But also, it kind of just loses to itself at times. I feel like it bricks a little bit more. If I draw too many of this engine, I just lose a lot of the time, especially if I don't see my SnakeEyes engine. So I don't know. I think we're gonna switch it up. We're going forward, but I really like this. Obviously, the cards are really good. Kieran also can help you dodge Effect Veiler and Imperm, another reason why I didn't feel like we need to cross out in the main. And then the spells are the obvious ones, the 3 Wanted, the 1 SnakeEyes Temple, the 1 Original Sinful. We played the 3 Bonfire, and we played 2 Triple Tactics Talents. I think it was about 43 in the main. With seeing the like Flamberge and the bigger Diablo Star and stuff like that, you don't want to see your bricks as much. So I felt like playing 43 was just a little better. Every single time I've been playing like 40 and cut it to 40, I bricked like in random scenarios. I felt like this was my best performance of like just getting opening hands. So that is the main deck. To the side deck we go, or no, extra deck, sorry. So for the extra deck, we had to make some changes, obviously. So we are playing 2 Anima, and the reason we're on 2 is just because, like, you really need the second one a lot of the time late game, not even for soaking their monster, but just getting, like, the poplar off field and getting advantage later in the game. Because now we don't have Link Rebo that we can use from Graveyard for that, so now we kind of have to dedicate 2 Link 1 spots, and that's just my opinion, but yeah. And then we'll go into the Link 2s. We have 1 Nightmare Phoenix, 1 Salaman Great Sunlight Wolf, 1 IP, 1 SP, 1 Dark, 1 Hida, 2 Princess, 1 Celine, 1 Sea Dragon, 1 Raging Phoenix, 1 Appaloosa, and 1 Amala Whale. We're not playing access code. We just use Celine to kind of make an Appaloosa, a 2 negate Appaloosa. That's kind of its main goal, to help us play through Nibiru and stuff like that. If you really want to play access code, you can cut the Amala Whale and just like end on Zelantis. There's a lot of reasons to be able to do this, and that's what kind of the SnakeEyes board is ending up doing. So yeah, that's kind of what how that goes. Really like that extra deck. Don't really think I would change a whole lot. Maybe like having a Typhon in there would be nice, but you really just don't have the room anymore with the deck. Yeah, so the last thing to go over is the side deck. We have 2 Ghost Spell. I just like these in certain matchups, like especially against like Voiceless Voice and in the mirror match or any SnakeEyes deck. I find that Bell is really good, but I don't know if it's like good enough to main. The Bestials are kind of questionable going forward because like how much Tempai is going to be in the format. So these actually might get back into the main, be a little bit better. But I'm not really sure. I'm not convinced yet. We'll see. And then we played the 3 Droll in the side. We just want to have access to more hand traps, stop as many decks from playing as possible. When we were going second, I honestly was just putting in like 20 hand traps and then saying, hey, my opponent, try to play, and if not, I'll just kill you. So yeah, that's kind of how the game was. I felt like every time I had put in 20 hand traps, I was drawing like 2 to 3. I definitely, like, I didn't lose in time because of how many hand traps I've drawn. I just felt like having that many was so good. And yeah, so that's kind of the decisioning there. Then we have the 3 crossout designator for going first, or in the mirror match or whatever you want to play. But yeah, it's just really good for going first. Self-explanatory, stops hand traps. We got 3 Cyclone. This card's just like still necessary. You still have like Rivalry and Tikaboo and Goes In all at 1. We have Skill Train at 3. We still have so many floodgates that we need to play, and Island is still being played off. You want to get rid of it, so yeah. And then 3 Droplet. Honestly, this is probably not necessarily needed, this slot. I did like play it comes up often. I really like the damage up effects. I just like this card personally, but like realistically, they could probably just be like a Spooky Dogwood, and it would probably be better, because it's just like you're gonna play 20 hand traps and then play board breakers. So these kind of come in against like the decks that like hand traps aren't doing as much. So we would just like put them in against that, but I don't really know. It's just for unknown matchups, I guess. And then the Agave Dragon, we just play this because time. Never came up. Oh well. So that is that. Yeah, so that's the deck profile. We got 5th place. Hopefully in the future we continue to do better and get better at everything. I played against Tri Brigade, Bird Call. I lost. That was my 1 loss. And then we beat Voiceless. We tied a Tier Laments Protoss build. I honestly can't really remember all my matchups of the day. It was a really long day of things, so a lot happened, and it's been a while since then. But anyway, guys, please comment, like, subscribe, and let me know what you think, and we will see you guys later.